come up in East Texas of all places. That was never said. In fact, um, none of the stuff that I faced in this primary was ever said even back then in East Texas. And frankly, at that time, the state of Texas had not elected a black woman DA in all 254 counties, and in fact, had only elected one black DA. At that time, Craig Watkins was an elected DA out of Dallas County. I was in Bowie County, Texas. And yeah, I may have been green, but I was full of heart. And I went out there, I ran for office, and I lost. And I supported the person that won. I continued to take cases and have to deal with that elected prosecutor, and everything was all good. Like this is really weird, guys. This is really weird. And so when things feel abnormal, you probably should be asking yourself, like, why does it feel abnormal? So number one, before I even got back to doing the job I was elected to do in DC, before I even boarded my flight, I put out a statement that has almost 150,000 likes on Twitter about supporting the Democratic nominee. I've never supported a Republican. And so it's just this idea that, like, I don't really know if it like makes people feel better to talk shit, or if it's literally, the right doing everything that they can to keep the Dems distracted and in disarray. I'm not really sure, right? Because they win when you're focused on like internal ish instead of external stuff. I will say it for the record. I am not currently running for U.S. Senate, and therefore you will not see me on the trail as if I am running for U.S. Senate. I am not running for U.S. Senate. Instead, what I have always said that I would do, whether I was the Senate nominee or otherwise, is that I will be helping down ballot candidates. So, not everybody believes in that approach, and that's cool. But as somebody that came from the state house, I think it's important. As someone who feels as if voting rights is under attack and doesn't believe that it's going to stop with this mid-decade redistricting that's taking place, as someone who is engaging in conversations with my colleagues in Louisiana and Alabama and Georgia just won in their state legislature, decided, sorry y'all, I decided to do this outside where I can get some vitamin D, so now you're hearing the planes as well. These state house and state senate races, they matter. But if you know anything about how any ballot is set up in the country and these U.S. House races, which I am a member of the House, which I have a lot of House colleagues that are asking me to actively go and support them as a team member for the House. And speaking of being a team member and a team player, I would really ask you to do research on whoever your favorite candidates are, wherever they are, and find out if they have given well over $500,000 to other candidates running all over the country for all kinds of positions. I have always been a down ballot supporter. I have always been a team player, not because I say it, but I actually have like receipts. You can go and look at my FEC reports. You can see it if you care. It's kind of like the people that didn't care to find out that I wasn't a Zionist, but whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's doing everyone in this country a disservice to decide to just double down on things that are not factual. And so, as I have been asked over and over and over, am I going to be on the campaign trail? I don't know if this is a new phenomena or if this is just because it's Jasmine Felicia Crockett, but like, I can rewind the tape for you, specifically on Texas. Now, I can't speak for other states, even though right now I've not heard many people saying that they want Janet Mills on the trail, and I don't know that they've been asking her the same question about whether or not she's going to get on the trail or not. I've not heard this out of, let me go to Texas. The last race that we had in Texas for Senate, my good friend Colin Allred, who is headed back to the House now, Colin Allred had a bit of a primary. Roland Gutierrez, a senator in the state. I don't remember one person asking Roland if he was going to go out, and being asked over and over and over, to the extent that people are saying Roland had to go out and campaign for Colin Allred. And, I'll let Colin speak if he wants to, but I don't recall that being something that even happened. I can then take you back to the last time Cornyn was up, and my very good friend, current sitting senator, Royce West, who happens to be a black man. He was in a hotly contested primary. Then they went to a primary runoff. He ended up losing the primary runoff to a woman by the name of MJ Hagar, who happened to be a white woman. And literally, you can Google where he said he wasn't voting for her. I don't remember a bunch of like hoopla, drama, whatever. Like, you can Google it. Like, I just give out facts. What I have said, as I've been asked, is that I don't know. Like, for me, my priority as a Senate candidate, and my priority still, is in the down ballot. When you had Beto O'Rourke, who ran for office, who ran for the Senate, when Beto ran, he was able to flip 2 or 3 of our appellate courts in the state of Texas. In addition to that, there were a number of U.S. House seats that flipped when he ran. Colin Allred was one of those House seats. In addition to that, the Republicans were denied a supermajority in the state House, and actually Mr. Tallarico was the benefit of that as well, as a state House candidate. So the only reason we were able to break quorum when I was there as a freshman is because we had this candidate that was going out, and he was doing a lot of work specifically with Democrats, and it helped with the down ballot. And so therefore, even though he didn't make it over the hump, it helped our state tremendously. So as someone who believes in our democracy, there is nothing that requires me to stay in politics at all. Like, at all. I just want to be clear that I'm not on the ballot. I do want to be clear also about the fact that I am in session this week, and I tend to like to show up to work. So I'm going to be in session, and I've got other invites that are pending for the freaking weekend. Like, this is really not that complicated. Like, I don't even know why this is an ongoing conversation. So I am going to dead this conversation, as the young people say, and be clear. My priority, read my lips, my priority is going to be down ballot races. And typically, people don't skip from the top to the bottom to vote. If they vote at the bottom, they got to get to the top first. Like, this is crazy. So, like, stop giving MAGA exactly what they want. Because while there is, this, I don't even know what to call Paxton, okay? I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of names for him. But he's their candidate. But y'all are still so focused on me. Bro, like, I'm not running. I'm not running, okay? So, like, focus on the people that are in the race. So if you have this urge to be like, oh, Jasmine this, Jasmine that, maybe use that energy towards Kim Paxton this, Kim Paxton that. Because last time I checked, no matter how much I end up being a part of the conversation, there is one person that is guaranteed not to become the next senator in the state of Texas, and that's Jasmine Felicia Crockett. So, like, why even expend your energy? Expend your energy on other things. And frankly, no one can tell me how and what my support looks like. And any of these candidates that has had my support, number one, they can tell you that the support has looked different for every single candidate that I have endorsed. And they didn't dictate what my support was. I do. So we engage in collaborative conversations. We talk about what their districts look like. We do a lot of different things. And then I figure out how I can plug in and best help them. And so far, we have been very successful. We are not endorsing in every single race. So when I say down ballot, don't think that that means every single person that is running on the ballot in all 254 counties in the state of Texas, because that's an impossibility. It's not happening. So let me just put that out there as well. I will be doing data analysis on the races that I believe I can be helpful in, as well as the races that the numbers look like they are ripe for the possibility. Those decisions won't be determined by anybody but me and my team. Like, that's just that. And we will continue to promote fire pack candidates. We will continue to put out who's on our fire pack. And right now, we ain't endorsed in no general elections whatsoever. Not a one. You know why? Because primaries are still going on. So I am still focused on primaries. And yeah, I don't have to tell y'all all my business and my entire thought process and whatever. Just know this. If you think that it is worthwhile to talk about me in the Senate race, think again and talk about Kim Paxton. Okay? I can guarantee you it will result in so much of a better result than talking about me. Because talking about me is still not going to get a W for me or an L for me. I'm not in this thing. I'm like, I promise you, I've moved on as I am planning what all it looks like for me as somebody who lost that district attorney's race and never questioned God. I prayed about it before I ran. I consulted with my pastor at the time. The same thing happened this time. And I understood that while he absolutely put it on my heart to run, he had another plan for me. I never would have been a state house rep. I never would have been a U.S. house rep if I had won for district attorney. I also never would have won those other races if I had not run and lost, because there was a lesson in the loss. There was so much that I learned about campaigning. So again, I just want to be clear about this. Like, I am cleary-eyed and bushy-tailed. I am currently in talks about what life looks like after this. I know that so many people are used to career politicians that can't let go and are going to have a title until the day that they die. That has never been my ministry, like, at all. I have always been a bit of a begrudging participant in politics. I hope y'all can hear me. Hold on, I'll wait for the plane. Okay. I've always run for office out of what I felt like was necessity, out of my ability to do something instead of hoping and waiting that somebody else was going to come along and do what it was that I wanted done. It was never about anything other than service. My entire record, if you check the receipts, has been about service. Being a public defender, there is nothing that is glorified about being a public defender whatsoever, but I did it because I believed in service. When I served on the board for MetroCare, the largest mental health provider in North Texas, that was an unpaid appointed position. I did it because I believed that it was necessary to have somebody like me, who had been dealing with so many people that unfortunately were being thrown into the criminal justice system instead of being thrown into hospitals to get the care that they needed, because I cared. So I had unique experience that would hopefully guide that organization. And ultimately, I give up my position just so I could run for a position in the state house where we only got paid $7,000 a year, y'all. Like, I never entered politics for any other reason than service. And frankly, once it's been determined, sorry, I'm gonna wrap this up so y'all don't have to keep hearing the planes. If somebody says they don't want my services, I respect that. Like, I really do. Like, I really do. Okay? So I know how to then sit with those around me. I know how to get with my pastor. I know how to pray. And I know how to figure out, okay, where is it that God is trying to move me in this moment? And right now, I love the work that I'm doing. I have always helped other candidates because before even all of this, I was the youngest Black elected county party chair in the entire state of Texas. I have always worked behind the scenes. I never even wanted to be out front. I worked behind the scenes helping other people. To this day, before the PAC stuff, I was constantly getting phone calls with people trying to get me to help them on the races, y'all. Like, so this is nothing that is new for me. But I will say that nobody's ever been able to dictate what my help looks like. Nobody has ever been able to dictate my schedule. Nobody's ever been able to tell me what I can and what I can't do. And frankly, that's just not going to change. So, for the last time, because I'm just not dealing with this anymore. I'm just let y'all do what y'all do and have fun out in these streets and spin your wheels and continue to be unproductive and continue to have us in the same rut that we've been in the state of Texas, if that's what y'all want to do. But the numbers are clear. I've always donated money. I have taken, I don't know, more flights than most anybody else to travel this country on both candidates everywhere. I have lost before, and if I had not lost, I never would have won. I am perfectly at ease with my decisions about what my help is going to look like and where it's going to be. As someone who currently sits in DC and is currently engaged in the conversations with what is taking place around this country, there's a lot y'all don't even see that I do. On top of the fact that I am actually preparing to transition, right? So, like, just focus on the people that are in the race. Focus on how you are going to help. Focusing on me isn't going to help. Candidate I would do, but that is not my role. I am not a candidate for any elected office. So I hope that this clears this up. And again, like, if you got questions, you can write to the editor, you can write to Romer. Romer will tell you that the question that was posed to me was, do I plan to be on the trail? That's never been posed that I'm aware of to anybody else that somehow didn't become the nominee. I don't know why this is a unique thing for me, but let's stop it. Like, let's stop it. If a person decides that that's how they can best spend their time, then great. And I encourage people, if that's, you know, what candidates are doing. I've not seen it anywhere else in the entire country. I've not even seen that question asked of anybody else in the entire country. But I am really happy to do my PAC work. So I would ask that you go and visit thefirepac.com and you support our efforts as we are supporting candidates all around the country. And for the most part, they are down ballot candidates, not all. I think I may have to go into Wisconsin soon. We'll see. But we're making those plans. We're figuring that out. And until these primaries are concluded, we're not working on any general election work at all. Zero, nada, nilch. So if you got questions about that, that's not our ministry right now. There are primaries all over the country where we need to make sure that we get certain candidates in position. So I am working on primaries. Not that it was everybody's business exactly what my strategy was, because I don't like to telegraph for the Republicans. But there you have it. I am only working on primaries. Only. And I have not paid attention to any general elections or made any decisions about what exactly my work will look like for any general election anywhere. All I know is that if we don't get these state house and state senates together, it's only going to get worse a lot quicker. All right. So y'all be blessed and enjoy the rest of this amazing Juneteenth weekend. And stop fighting with people on the internet about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Start fighting for like the liberation of black people instead of trying to tell black people to shut up. Okay? Okay.
So that is Jasmine Crockett on her live stream sharing something about the Juneteenth. So what do you think about this? Like, comment, like, share, and also subscribe. Bye.